I'm back.
Yay!
Yeah.
Welcome back, Mitch.
Thank you. I feel like I was gone for a long time.
You
You
were.
were gone for a long time.
It was like 2+ weeks. Yeah.
Crazy.
But I'm excited to be back.
And you're tan.
I'm a little tan, but I'm also happy. You guys can think I'm crazy, but when there's a little snowflakes in the air in April, I'm here for it. We live in Wisconsin. We know we live in Wisconsin. We know it's going to snow a little bit in April. I am here for it. I enjoyed it. Welcome into the Connect Show, Studio A5, Wauwatosa, Wisconsin. My name's Mitch Nelson, a.k.a. Thunder. Tracy, take it away.
Welcome, everybody, to the Connect Show. My name is Tracy Champagne, and today is episode number 29 of season number 3.
Woo! Oh, don't hit the... Oh, I can hit the table today. Nice.
Banging away.
There's no mics on it, so we're good.
So my business is Small Business Milwaukee. We do website design, social media, blog writing, newsletter writing, all the different things.
Wow, that's a lot of... I was counting.
Uh-huh.
That's at least 47 different things.
It is very many things. But all of those skills have helped me do interesting task of taking on the role of the president of the Greenfield Chamber as well.
Congratulations.
So if you are in the Greenfield area and want to check out the chamber, please check it out. And that's a little bit about me. And today we're going to be all about following our passions and showing others how to get into buying into those passions.
Yep.
That's a good show.
Yeah.
And joining me today is Kim Knock, my partner.
Hello, everybody. I am Kim Knock, owner of Opportunities Knocking. I can knock away because there aren't desk mics today.
Are you knocking with that pink drink over there?
Heck yeah, Pink Drink should be sponsored by Pink Drink. We won't say the name of the company, but should be sponsored by Pink Drink.
Right.
I do many of the same things as Tracy, with Tracy, social media marketing. I'm doing a ton of event planning, kind of by accident, but hey, working on the 4th of July for the city of St. Francis, food truck events, all kinds of things, traveling with a client.
All right, so I'm going to take us. I'm already going to go on a tangent real quick.
Do it. Go.
So you talk about, social media marketing and these different things that you've done. Was event planning part of your plan? And if it was, great. But if it wasn't, that's just an example. I'm going to drink because of how we've all pivoted and done different things. Mm-hmm. So how does it, I'm putting you on the spotlight now.
That's okay.
How has it changed your mindset to realize, well, I thought I was going to be doing this, and this is what Opportunity Knocking was about. But now all of a sudden I'm doing this. How did you figure out how to lean into that?
So I was doing event planning for the city. I've been doing that for the city of St. Francis for some time. And then I did all the mom things, the PTO, Girl Scouts, all that fun stuff. And so there was naturally event planning in that. And then doing networking events, that's event planning. And so it all just kind of fell into it. But where I really thrived was nonprofit, raising money and doing that for the city. They don't pay for the event. It is all based on donations. They give a donation for fireworks. That's it. I have to raise the rest of the money every single year for the 4th of July. And we put on a great day. But so I just kind of fell into it with the business because I was doing it as like a fun thing, but I still like my fun thing and I still love social media. So,
Just fill a need.
Yeah, that's a great way to.
The problem is it makes you just a little too. I don't like the B word, the busy word, but I have to find a way to reel it all in and become one.
Right.
That's the tough part.
Well, it's that whole problem of when you're good at a few different things, it's hard to niche yourself into that one thing that you love doing and are really good at. Because you love and are really good at a few different things.
I think it just naturally evolves into that way.
You are amazing at websites. You build some of the most beautiful websites I've seen. But with websites, you're playing in social media. You're playing into this. You're playing into blog writing. You're playing into this. And so you naturally kind of fall into social media stuff too, which I see that with a lot of website stuff. And I will always refer someone needs a nice, beautiful website, go to Tracy Champagne. She's reasonably priced. She's there for the small businesses. That's how I naturally think about it. I think of her as website, but she falls into other stuff too. And it's maybe not the stuff that she loves so much, but so
nice. Awesome.
That's where we are.
Yeah,
so
that's the digital marketing world. I mean,
it's
you're in everything, I think.
And it's fun. I've gotten pulled into billboards. I've gotten pulled so many different things. She's gotten pulled into app stuff and getting on freeway signs and all, the crazy things. I think we've gone
All
beyond
part of the
digital.
marketing mix.
It is marketing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Well, we just went off on a Kim Nutt
Yep,
moment,
yep,
but
yep.
today we have two amazing guests. We have Tanya Sims and Charlene Osterling. Gosh, I met her so many times. I should know how to say it. We're totally looking forward to it. We got some stupid good food that I like to see.
Right.
So hey, here we go.
Literally.
And as always, we love to start our show by thanking our fantastic partners. The Connect Show every Tuesday, 10 a.m. Central on all your social media is brought to you by Connect Media Live, helping businesses reach audiences through social media, video, and web development. And if you're ready to move on to one-to-many, contact us for more information because we can help.
We have to thank our hosting sponsor, Expansive Workspace, where we broadcast this show every single week. Studio A5 is John's fabulous studio. You have to come see it because you just get to see a little corner. You don't get to see this. It's a beautiful space.
Yep.
And at some point, maybe we'll be in other parts of the space. But we have beautiful
The whole
Wauwatosa.
second floor.
That's
We
cool.
are.
I like that.
We have Wauwatosa, Wisconsin behind us. There's also a spot in downtown Milwaukee, Madison, and 42 more locations. You can find more information at expansive.com.
Yep. There's some event going on downstairs. They tried to sell me a house, and then I said, or they tried to get me to buy a house, and I said, I don't really need a house. They said, well, then do you want to sell us your house?
Oh boy.
And I said, well, I'm always open to that. You make the right offer.
What's going
There's
on?
yeah,
downstairs?
everything's got a price. So
That's kind of cool. They do rent the space downstairs. Even if you're not a tenant, I think you can still rent the space. I got a thumbs up from producer John. You can rent the space,
some
and
sort of real estate event going on today, which good for
it's
them.
wonderful.
Yeah.
We've
Yeah.
held
Rates
we've
are a
held,
little, but you know.
You know what? You don't. I have a real estate client. You don't fall in love with the rate. You
That's
fall in love with the house. You can always adjust the rate.
Got it. Okay. I'll,
Date the rate.
Yeah.
Date the rate.
okay.
Marry
Got
the
it.
house.
Marry the house. I like that.
There
That's
you
good.
go.
Nice. Good thinking.
And of course, we are thankful that you've come to watch the Connect Show. We think connecting is a huge key to building small businesses. That's why it's called the Connect Show. So please tell your friends about our show. And if you have a topic you think we should be discussing, please email us at ideas@theconnectshow.com. And there it is on the screen.
We have to thank our guests from last week, Taylor Merrick and Mikey Henninger. Too bad, Mitch.
I know.
You missed.
I'm sharing our show on LinkedIn right now.
I
so.
know you missed the fantasy.
I know.
football.
The fantasy football guy was on the week I'm not here.
You've
I
met
know.
Taylor. And
Because
you-
I didn't realize you were going to be
I
gone.
know.
I
It's
couldn't
okay.
believe
Mikey
it.
and I are definitely going to connect offline and
Mhm.
do some stuff.
I
He's
think-
gonna help me because I get suckered into fantasy football.
Yeah.
But I only pay attention to my team.
Right.
I don't
right.
pay attention to everyone else. And no, I do not draft just my team. So I can utilize his services to make sure I'm making good picks.
There you go. Perfect. I like it.
Mhm.
So now here is Mitch with some nuggets about today's guests.
Well, a little behind the scenes on today's guest. Really excited. Yeah, look at that camera. Okay. About Tanya and Charlene. Today is the Division I women's basketball edition of the Connect Show. Charlene played at Western Michigan. Tanya played at Wisconsin. Super excited for both of them. Their story is more than their college basketball past, but that's part of their story. Part of their story and part of who they are today is because of that athletic past. Charlene, as we'll get to her bio, she is a writer. She's an athlete. She is she's a creator. And you go to her website, which is Stupid Good World, right? And then Stupid Good Food and all this sort of stuff. Yeah, 2 O's, not a U. It's like teal and aqua and magenta and purple and pink and all the fun colors. Talk about using your imagination and really leaning into your inner child. She does that. She had a recent blog post that she asked the question, we ask ourselves a lot, can I change? But the real question is, will I change? And losing the weight, but not the weight of our body, losing the weight that we're waiting for something to happen to us and listening to our inner voice. And again, leaning into that. She's involved in food. She's involved in clothing. After college, she did travel all around Europe with her basketball. She played professionally in Poland. I'm sorry. Tanya played professionally in Poland. Charlene, no.
I didn't know this about
She
you.
is, I found this actually, I don't know if you found, she is still, to this day, in the top 10 of single season 3-point percentage at Western Michigan. In the 90-91 season, she shot over 40% from 3-point land for Western Michigan. So yeah. So she's got range. And she's going to show us that range today. Not in the basketball court, but in life. So excited for Charlene to be here. Tanya is also here. She is a Badger. I'm a Badger. She doesn't know this, but I'm sure I covered some of her games as a reporter. And it's kind of like, I'm not bummed, but I'm a little like, if I knew and respected the women's game then, like I do now, and part of it is because I'm a girl dad. I have a 12-year-old and 10-year-old, and the 12-year-old is like, she's got basketball practice tonight and tomorrow and Friday and like a tournament on Saturday. But how much our generation has embraced women's basketball. Like I wish, now granted, and she'll probably share this with me, Wisconsin women's basketball doesn't have a great reputation. We and I say we as Badgers, but the Badgers women's basketball program hasn't been as good as we'd like it to be. There've been some flashes here and there. So Tanya went to Wisconsin. She then got her master's in all sorts of computer stuff at Northwestern. She was part of the Minnesota Lynx in 2003, and then she went overseas and played in Poland. She was the high school All-American, Wisconsin Gatorade Player of the Year at Racine Park for 2 years. She's in the Racine County Athletic Hall of Fame. At UW, she averaged just under 15 points a game for her career. And now she is helping kids get to the next level and figure out their futures athletically. So super excited for Tanya and Charlene. It's near and dear to my heart talking about sports, but they are both creating and have created businesses that not only are for themselves, but also for future generations. And I think that's going to be one of the themes of today's show. Really excited to hear their stories when they are on the show.
That's awesome. It's so interesting how we get two guests from totally nowhere knowing each other, and we bring them in and they have so many similarities about them. I just love it when that happens.
What I think is cool is the energy you brought for that. Hello, sportscaster Mitch Nellis, Thunder.
Yeah.
I felt your thunder today with
appreciate
that.
it.
He was happy to talk about some basketball ladies.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Absolutely.
And as a reminder, the Connect Show is better when it's interactive. So please add your comments in the chat. If you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, or YouTube, we will see the comments in the chat. John will bring them up and we will address them. So if you have any questions for our guests when they're speaking, please let us know. And share the post.
Yeah.
Share it.
Comment after.
Mhm.
We are all volunteers here at the Connect Show. If you like the show, you have any suggestions, or you'd like to get involved, email us at ideas@theconnectshow.com and become part of our volunteer team.
But that also includes if you think you should be on the show, if you know someone who should be on the show. We're always looking for guests. We're always looking for people behind the scenes, on camera, all of the above.
Mm-hmm. And if you are a guest on the show, after we've had the show, you will be live on YouTube immediately, and you'll be able to use that content for your followers too.
Absolutely.
So
thank you to everyone that's involved, and those of you that contribute via chat, you are also part of our team. So thank you so much. We're in this together. What is that about?
Woo.
Just a little.
just a little
segue.
sparkles. I like the sparkles.
I did like the sparkles.
So our quote for today.
Yeah, do you want to read it or do you?
Go
So this
ahead.
is one of my favorites.
Okay.
So, just as my ancestors planted for me, so do I plant for those who come after me. And it's actually from the Talmud, which is an ancient rabbinic text in Jewish history, but many religions, many cultures share similar quotes about that. The generations before me have led us to where we are today.
Mhm.
And I also have to be mindful of what I'm doing is not just for me, is not just for today, but is for my children,
All
my
the
grandchildren,
people.
future generations as
Future.
well. Yeah.
Building it on. I love that. That's deep.
Yeah, that puts everybody back into the right mindset right there.
One thing I hear about that kind of makes me think about is a lot of people, you can't hand your job over to your child. I mean, maybe you can, but
Right.
really you can't hand your job over, but you can hand your business over to your children, or you can, slowly build them into that. But if you're that might sound horrible. Like if you're in a corporate America scenario, you're not going to say, "Oh, my kid's taking my job when I retire." Yeah, good luck. Good luck. So, kind of made me think of that.
Cool.
All right, so we're off to our question of the day. So why is it important to think about children and or your future generations and how your work impacts those around you?
I jumped the gun.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I totally jumped the gun.
But that's a good thing. That means we're having conversation.
That means we were going in the right
Yeah,
direction.
The quote
That's great.
matches our question.
Yeah.
100%.
So part of this is, I think, when you ask anybody their why, so often the why is, oh, I want to help other people.
Mhm.
And helping other people is a great, that's a great why. And I always try to drill people down into the why behind their why. Why is it important to you? Because for so many of us, oh, I want to help other people. That's great. And that is. But why do you specifically want to help?
Yeah.
And so I think when you drill down that why behind that why, that's when you get to, well, I want to leave a legacy that means something. I want to set an example for my kids or for my family. I want to do something that has meaning.
Yeah.
And I think all those things are important.
And I don't think a lot of people know this about you, but you drive down. That's one of your things, is to drive down into people's why.
Yeah.
So we used to have
him on the show on the Small Business Wacky. He had his own show.
Yeah, the why behind your why.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
This question, this one is like really resonates with me because for my past life, I ran a daycare and I was all about watching kids for about 20 years. And my goal with those kids was to teach them how to be independent. And so I still have that goal with whoever I'm working with. I want to help them go along and learn how to do the things that they want to do and they're passionate about and become independent and then have their own accomplishments.
You know what's interesting to me about that with you too is you're an entrepreneur and really have been forever. And you're not necessarily, are you building something that your children could take over? Absolutely. But you have an entrepreneur, very successful child that is not in any business that you're doing.
Right.
But it's like you still taught him how to, that he could visualize being an entrepreneur and how to be successful at that, which is super important. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. Because it's not the same genre at all.
Sometimes it's not teaching them all about all the steps that you know how to do, like do this, do that, do this. It's allowing them to have the space and giving them the confidence to go ahead and to try to do the things.
That's huge. The confidence is huge.
Right.
Because that's not easy.
Yeah. How about you?
Well, I kind of said it. I mean, being an entrepreneur is newer for me now. I mean, I've been in since 2021. I've had, my own company, but I've always kind of tried to find something where I have to be the boss. Like I have to figure it out for myself. And I kind of want to do similar to you. My children are younger, but I want to do something similar to you where they don't have to do what I'm doing, but do something that you're passionate about, that makes you happy. And it can be working for someone else. There's nothing wrong with being an employee if that's what you want to do.
Right.
I'm not going to force my children to go to college. If they are going to do something though, whether it be a trade or something like that, like find your passion and follow through with it. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
So
nice.
And John is over here running everything behind the scenes.
Hi, John.
Hey, John.
He's
hey,
waving.
John.
You can't see him, but he's waving.
Yeah. Do we have
There he
anything in the
is.
chat?
There he is.
Do we have anything in the chat yet, John? Nope. Okay.
we got
Moving
it.
on. All right. We're moving on to our first guest.
Let's have a little break.
Okay, let's do that. And why we are bringing our first guest on. Oh, there's Mitch. He's giving me rabbit ears behind me. Oh my goodness. We have a company picnic for solopreneurs. So if you are a small business owner and there's only one or a couple of you, and you would like to have the experience of a company picnic, make those bad decisions, do all those fun things, we have the company picnic for solopreneurs on June 20th. June 20th, yes. And that is right here, right below us, right behind us in the expansive courtyard. We have a lot of food. It's a great networking event. It's about 2 hours long, and it's always sunny and beautiful on that day. So be sure to join us on June 20th for the company picnic for solopreneurs. And I can't wait to see you then. And back to you, Kim and Tracy.
And making bad choices.
I know. First thing I hear.
That's
Talking
the
about
only
making
thing I
bad
heard
choices.
was making bad choices.
Drinking sparkling water that day, so there are no bad choices.
Welcome, Tanya, to the show.
Welcome.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
So, a quick little intro to Tanya is the founder of Upper Level Sports Academy. She has experience with recruiting process as a former professional athlete and Division I student athlete. She loves giving back to her community of parents of athletes.
After Tanya retired from her sports career, she started working in the tech industry as a software developer and also has learned online marketing, which is a huge deal in learning how to get seen online or in person by college coaches. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes.
So, welcome to the show. So, with our question of the day, you work directly with kids, so you totally understand what the impact is for working with kids. What is kind of like your passion about that?
That's a great question. So I work, with parents who have kids who want to play sports, and I also work with, kids as well and their athletes. I always tell parents and their kids who are athletes that, playing college sports is great because it could really set you up for your life after sports as well. A lot of companies love hiring, former college athletes. I mean, if you don't want to go play professional, you can also go play pro if you want to. But if you don't have that opportunity to play professionally, I'm always encouraging parents and their kids to really use college sports to set themselves up for the future.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. And now Mitch really dug deep into both of your past, and your history. But what maybe did he miss, or coming directly from you? What's your background experience, and how did you arrive starting the sports company?
Yeah. So, it kind of came up during the pandemic, actually, because I had a lot of friends who were parents who had kids who played sports. And, with the pandemic, a lot of their sports seasons were being canceled, unfortunately. So they were in panic mode, rightfully so. So they started coming to me and asking me for help because they knew that I did play in college and I did play professionally. So I just started helping friends. And then I just kind of branched out to helping other parents as well. That's how I made it a business.
I suppose that had to be really tough because that's like the time recruiters are coming, and now games are canceled. Now you don't have recruiters, and how are they going back to old tapes or tapes? I said tapes.
You said tapes.
I said tapes. No one knows what the hell a tape is anymore, but are they going back to old video? And like, how did you make that a thing to help people during the pandemic? That's really interesting.
Yeah, so during the pandemic, I had a program or a course, I guess you could say. It was like a 6-week course. That's how I started out. It was called Rookie to Recruit, and that's actually the name of my membership now. We'll probably talk about that in a minute. But so I had a program that parents went through, with video modules and lessons and like personal coaching, and so just really, nourishing them and like really, helping them with the recruiting process. So I kind of took them through this journey, from point A to Z of the recruiting process.
Yeah. And a lot of people are really looking for that, if their child is good in sports or whatever, because a lot of times you're getting a great scholarship, and that's helping with that college career, whether it's a trade or whatever it might be, or you're going to be a doctor. I mean, playing sports and being a doctor might be a little difficult, but that beginning process, why not? So.
Yeah, it's a good point too. I mean, as we know, the cost of college is very expensive now. I was just looking up the cost at like Columbia. I think it's like $84,000 a year. That's just tuition.
That's insane.
It is. I mean, it's not even including room and board or books or food or anything. So.
I know. I mean, think about it. By the time you're done with college, now you bought a house.
Yeah, it's almost.
And now you got to go buy a house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
heck yeah, I want the scholarship.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah. And not everyone, gets a full ride scholarship. That's one thing that I really teach as well. That's really only at the Division I level, only for a handful of sports. Everybody else usually gets a partial scholarship. And then Division III, NCAA Division III, they don't really provide athletic scholarships. It's all, academic scholarships or financial aid. Yeah.
Good.
So what advice do you have for parents and kids looking to play sports in college?
I would say for parents, this is their kids' journey. So right. I know it's hard.
That's funny. This is your kids' journey.
This is
Just
your kid's
remember.
journey. So really let your child take the lead, take charge of their journey. But there is a role, a place for parents in the recruiting process, right? Like, maybe organizing, helping with strategy, creating spreadsheets and doing some like the, like to save like all the college coaches that their kids have like reached out to, doing data entry. But really, the kids should be the ones that are leading the process. And for kids, you coaches want to see leaders. They want to see that you can take charge of your life, be kind of independent from your parents. Still love your family and your friends, but really be independent, and just be a leader and just take control of your future.
I suppose that's probably that's probably really important, especially if they're traveling from, you're not going from Milwaukee to Madison. Maybe you're going to Florida or wherever it might be. You need that independence. You can't say, "Mom, come do my laundry," or "I need you to. Can you make sure I have enough money in my checking account?" Or any little life skills that are going to be important for that independence. That's cool.
It's a great point too, because I was independent from my parents, and I grew up in a military family. Both my parents were in the Air Force. So they really taught me independence, but I knew for me, like I wanted to go to college closer to home because I would probably get homesick.
Yeah.
So that's something that, athletes should take into consideration as well. So
For sure.
Yeah.
What colleges are or what places are going to be fitting to you? I want to be far away. How far away can I get?
Right.
Or I want to be right next to mom and dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about what the experience feels like if somebody were to reach out to you? Like what kind of steps would you take first? And you mentioned a little bit about a membership. So what is that about?
Yeah. So, first of all, I have a free Facebook group where I really help to, just like I do free training in my group every week. That's kind of how people get to know, like, and trust me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Important.
Yeah. And I think my Facebook group now is about 1,300 parents of athletes.
Nice.
And then I usually do, like a one-on-one, like a 15-minute recruiting game plan session, strategy call, I call it. Just, so I can get to know the parents, get to know their situation with their child and their sports career. Then I also have a membership as well that's launching tomorrow.
Yes.
So yes, thank you.
Awesome
Yeah,
timing.
It's launching tomorrow. And I did what's called like a founding member launch on a workshop that I did a few weeks ago, where I kind of did like a pre-sale, and I got people into the membership.
Nice.
I've been developing content like the course portal, and just want to give them like a really good experience so they can get that continued support.
And you're doing
throughout the
all
journey.
of this technical stuff yourself?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm using a portal called Shine Pages. It's really easy to build, like a website and like a course portal. So
Nice.
You should have a deep conversation with producer John. Loves courses.
He loves
And
courses.
he has all these great ideas.
Yeah.
And
He can probably head you off on some tips.
Yes. Yes.
that
Yes.
we might not see yet.
He
Sure,
works
yeah,
very
awesome.
closely with a lot of people on building courses and, the A to B way and quick and easy and, what's going to be most effective for you.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
heck yeah,
I'd love to connect with
he's
John.
Mr. Course.
Yeah, Mr. Course.
I hear the word course and I think of John instantly.
Yeah,
I think that's all super cool. I mean, this is great timing for people to probably connect with you so they can work on what's going to happen over the summer, what the summer looks like, what they have to build. So, do you have an offer or any event or anything that you'd like
Other
to
than
share
your
with-
membership
other
starting
than your
tomorrow?
membership starting tomorrow
Yeah.
that you'd like to offer to the audience today?
Yeah, I would definitely say join the Facebook group. It's called College Recruiting Secrets for Parents of Athletes, because I'm always, doing training in there once a week, every Wednesday evening. And so from that Facebook group, I usually announce, any workshops that I have. I'm planning on doing like a 3-day challenge and probably in May.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be free. And then of course, I'll have an offer. I'll probably, ask them to join my membership as
Yeah,
well.
absolutely.
But yeah, I'm always doing training or like workshops, like usually every other month. So yeah.
Beautiful. And the fact that you're doing that for free is really, really crazy and good, helpful for people that are unsure of where to go, and they
Mhm.
trust you. I
Yeah.
love it.
Thank you.
A great way to connect with Tanya. We have a page on our website for her, theconnectshow.com/Tanya
Tanya
Sims,
Sims.
and it's TONYASIMS. Thank you so much for joining us
Thank you
today.
so much for coming on.
I look forward to hearing how well your course goes
I know.
and
Yeah,
your
I know.
membership group.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Off to you, John. Off to you.
Oh my goodness. They're sending it back to me so quickly. What am I going to do here? So I wanted to talk a little bit about Studio A5. That's the beautiful studio that we're in right now. We are a full service broadcast studio. Think of us as your independent television station to help you create content. The studio is fully equipped with a couple of different sets. There are everything that you need, like lights and microphones and all kinds of cameras. But there's also a lot of amenities because we're here at Expansive Workspace in Wauwatosa. So in Expansive Workspace, there is we're in a 30,000 square foot location. And, there's conference rooms and there's all types of facilities to connectivity. So if you need to do conference calls, but there's also a lot of nice kitchens. So there's places that we can serve food, we can store food, and just make a day of it. A lot of times when we're doing course creation, we'll be here for 8, 10, 12 hours at a time. So to have a comfortable location where we can have lunch, take a break, go sit at a table and just kind of work some ideas out. It's really nice to have all of those. So that's a little bit about Studio A5 and what we do here. And with that, I'm going to send it back to Kim and Tracy.
Mr. Course Man himself. We have Charlene back. I'm so excited.
We have food.
Oh my God, the food.
So happy to be back.
So happy to have you. Charlene is an author, a storyteller, inventor, innovator, artist, visionary, athlete, disruptor of the norm, soul feeder, and the creative mind behind a multifaceted brand called A Stupid Good World. And that is stupid with 2 O's instead of a U. And I love it.
And Charlene believes our purpose here is threefold: create a movement, fulfill a purpose, and leave a legacy. That life is nothing but the greatest opportunity to catalyst the inner land of make-believe out, and to know with complete absolution anything we can imagine we can make possible.
We can.
And basketball.
No, on basketball. Welcome back to the show, Charlene.
Thank you.
Look at all this stupid good food she brought.
That's so funny. You can actually just say that in a sentence and it just sounds
And
so
it's-
normal.
I know.
So you guys are my guinea pigs today because this is some new stuff no one's had and some staples.
Oh my gosh. I see like chocolate covered stuff with raspberries.
Yeah,
I
like
see,
this thing right here. I mean, oh my gosh,
So
you
that's
guys.
a dough fin. It's half donut, half muffin.
Oh boy.
If you look at these, you see a little donut hole, and then
Yeah.
you flip it over, and it has a muffin top. So,
Oh my.
And then this is the same batter called a Snooki. It's a sneaky cookie.
Oh, she's moving into cookies.
So they both have hidden secret ingredients. All the juicing protocols I do for clients and myself, I save the pulp, and it goes into most of my creations. So I believe that we shouldn't waste anything. Now, things like the skin of the ginger root, I put into my smoothies because it blends right up. As long
Yeah.
as you wash it, it's fine. So
Yeah.
there's such a great benefit to the pulp and to the rind of everything. It all, just like the stem, people throw away the stem of their herbs. And if you think about it, that's where the life comes from.
Yeah.
So all of your nutrients are in that stem. And why don't we use it? It's just a good crunch and salad. And
The product that you have built, and I said this last time when we were all together, you are going to, this is going somewhere. It will be in front of the right person, and this is going
I've already
somewhere.
become a regular client.
This is like I've
Yeah,
ordered
yeah.
like 3 or 4 times now from her since the last time.
Yes.
yeah, we've had such great conversations too, on both ends, what you can help me with and what I can help you with. And Stupid Good Food is such a fun, funky product. It tastes really good, has great consistency, but it also gets to the gut of,
Oh, the nutritional
Yeah.
benefit alone.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, it tastes
Mhm.
great. That's great. But
And
the
I think-
nutritional benefit alone.
Yeah, people's whole demeanor change when their gut is happy, then
Yeah.
they're happy. And
Yes.
it's this whole
That is very
process of
true.
like no emotion or feeling is wrong.
Mhm.
Mhm.
It's just having the awareness that you need to be one with that and not bury it somewhere so you don't feel like your feelings are genuinely important for moving you
They're-
forward in
they're
life.
Like everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
People move their feelings around food. So
Oh, yeah.
you're recreating food that makes people happy, but it's healthy. It's not a joke. Like it's healthy.
yeah, food is such an emotionally based decider for
mess with-
people. So I say emotions are indicators, not decision makers.
Mhm.
So when an emotion comes up when it comes to food, say you're out at a restaurant or you're at a reception, a wedding reception or a baby shower, and people feel guilt around having a piece of cake at a celebration, I don't believe you are what you eat. I believe you are what you think about what you eat. So if you have that guilt, have the awareness to stop and go, not I deserve to cheat or I deserve, like, who are you cheating on, yourself?
Yeah, exactly.
Like if
Exactly.
a client asked me once, she's like, when can I have ice cream again? And literally without a thought, what came out of my mouth was, when you don't feel guilty about eating it.
There you go.
Like, think about when we're kids. If my whole mission is to bring adults back to the fearless nature of childhood again, that includes food, and self included. I went through bulimia. I went through food addiction.
Yes.
And this is my blessing and my curse, so to speak. So when we don't have that, like you're at a kid and you're at a friend's house and you have a piece of candy and you keep playing and you keep it moving.
You don't
Like,
think about it.
no, as an adult, I think we get so far off of our purpose and we get into work, that work to live to work. And it's like, where's the fun in your life? Like, I'm all about planning for your retirement, but think of the word retirement. You're going to retire. You're going to get tired again because the first half of your life wasn't tiring enough. Like,
oh my God.
find that
She's
purpose.
throwing out some nuggets today. Holy cow.
Yeah, it's just
I love
so
it.
Mhm.
huge, though. People, when I say we're all here to fulfill a purpose, like your soul has the blueprints for the purpose you were put here to create, to leave that legacy. And they're like, oh, that's so much pressure leaving a legacy. I'm like,
You're going to do it no matter
What?
Exactly.
Whether you're planning on doing it or not, it's just, do you want to have a say in that legacy?
So, and that's
You
kind of
know?
reverting back to our audience question, which we totally just, if you want to tie that up with
Yeah.
a pretty little bow, how do you help with the future generations, or, thinking, because you're actually helping the older generation kind of take it back to the beginning. So it's almost a little backwards, but not, because you're leaping them forward, right?
I think
Does that make
Tanya
sense?
hit the nail on the head when she said it's your child's journey.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I play the witness. I've never been married, never had kids. I'll be 52 in November. And it's like, I watch this unconscious abuse happening with, and I went through it with coaches and even my own mom. And it's like, if you don't heal those wounds, if you're not taught there's a choice in a different way, then you're going to go in and you're going to take your kid and be really hard on them for decisions you made or things you think you missed out on, when really the best compliment I ever received, my dad wrote me a thank you letter.
Mhm.
And he wasn't a writer. His penmanship was horrible. Okay. But it was a situation where I was living in Miami. They came to see me in Ohio at the Arnold Classic, and I was in a booth teaching jump rope with a guy from Germany's jump rope. So in the space was a light-skinned Jamaican African-American, one of my best friends who's a very white gay male, one of my best friends who's stout Catholic, and the two guys that came from Germany were complete atheists.
Oh,
So if you
did
can
have
imagine,
some diversity in
yeah.
that room.
So the conversation at the dinner table was just something to be a witness of, because
sure.
I just watched and listened,
just
and
watched.
the energy shifts that happened. And then my parents park in a church parking lot and get towed. And so this whole amazing morph of energy happens to where people are meeting each other where they're at. And my dad writes me a thank you letter because he was a state trooper and saw a lot of bad things. And he's like, thanks for opening me up to the beauty of diversity.
Oh, wow.
And it was probably in the fact that he passed 3 years ago, but like we verbally spoke about how we learned from each other. And if I could take kids and do one thing with them, it would be to build their mentality so their spirit can't be crushed ever by anyone, including themselves. And to teach parents to be open to learning from their kids, because they're these amazing souls that haven't been tainted by the societal norm.
Absolutely.
And those parents should be looking at, I mean, it took my dad till a year to the day before he died to not have to worry about me another day in his life. I literally watched him release that, which was such a gift. Yeah. So that support and guidance, like I call myself a shift Sherpa. I'm not a life coach. I'm not your cheerleader. I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm going to guide you through my experience and put the ball back in your court. So when it comes to food decisions, the ball's in your court. If you balance everything you eat, like the conversation we had coming in here about protein pasta, there's only 2 or 3 true protein pastas on the market. Read your ingredients, because the labeling is messed up.
Always.
It's so crazy. So it's the predominant value is a carb, and you think you're getting the predominant value of protein. So it's all it is being open to education. And when it
Right,
comes to
right.
relationship, it's no different with
Right.
food, your parents, child, whatever it is.
And when it comes to pasta, that's not really something that I can eat anymore. And I've just learned to be okay. I can find other things to put a great sauce on, and it doesn't have to be pasta.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how much I learned how much I love vegetables. Like vegetables can replace a pasta anytime. Yeah, I can eat a bite or 2 here or there, but to sit down and eat a whole bowl of pasta, I don't even care. It doesn't even bother me. I don't even care. I don't miss it. It's ingrained in you. Like I have to have pasta, I think,
Well,
because I really don't
The
care.
way you were raised.
Yeah.
I mean, many of us were raised eating all sorts of processed food that
It's a
people
sauce
weren't
carrier.
eating ago.
Yes.
Pasta is a sauce carrier for me.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
want the sauce. I don't
Yeah.
care about the noodle really. I don't.
And that's dips and dressings are our biggest 2 pitfalls, because they're all sodium laden and
Yeah.
they have sugar in them.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I've got a line of sauces and dips coming out, because you should have protein, like the pumpkin seed butter that I make. I've now made a Thai peanut curry
yes, man,
sauce.
that's delicious.
And
Oh,
it's
yes, it is delicious.
high protein, high fiber sauce. Like it's out there, using the leftovers, blending them up and creating a puree.
Yeah.
And
using
then adding
real
what
food.
you like. There's a way to get what you like and what you need. I mean, I've created the antithesis of that, but you just have to give yourself a little time. Our greatest commodity we can't get back.
That's right.
Right.
We're giving it all away, and some of that needs to come back to the individual to make that shift.
100%.
So-
I'm a butter girl with you. So that's
Tell
what I do.
tell our audience a little bit about Stupid Good World, who may not know about you before.
So, A Stupid Good World is a full circle entity of everything I've been blessed with the blueprints to create, from my athletic background to the foodie I've become to the Shift Sherpa. And there's nothing you can't do, be, or have. Abundance is your forthright. Everyone's here to leave that legacy, and A Stupid Good World is on a mission to bring adults back to the fearless nature of childhood again, and to support kids with big dreams and help them, give them something to bridge to keep believing. Because I, from a very young age, was a big dreamer. I mean, I literally thought I could fly at some point till I metaphorically took that cape off due to societal norm.
Yeah.
And so A Stupid Good World is just a full circle entity of
rebelling, guys. She's just
Yeah,
rebelling.
kind
But I
of.
love that though, because you're not even spelling stupid as the world would spell it. That's what I love about it.
But the guy who did my website had to get into the lingo, because everything he was writing, the spell check had him.
yeah.
The spell check was abusing him.
Yeah, yeah.
So like the butter is Buttahh.
Yeah.
Everything is
Wrong.
AHH or
To the
OHH.
right.
I know. I talked to people about the products, and I said, "Oh, I'm going to get some of these waffles and some of this," and they're like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "They're waffles and butter."
I had a really amazing mentor who one day just showed up at this business boot camp in Knoxville, Tennessee I was in, and he came up to me and he said, "Are you Charlene with the waffles and the jump ropes?" And I said, "Yeah." "Are you Mike Akers?" And he said, "Yeah." And I said, "Yeah, I got your LinkedIn request this morning." And he goes, "Well, I got yours," but neither one of us sent each other. Somehow we got connected, and then he showed up. And so he challenged me, because they're not really waffles. I make them in a waffle maker. Eventually they'll look like the logo, so you read it while you eat it. And who the owl's there, so your hoofle is actually a filling who creation. And he said, if it could look like anything or taste like anything, what would you call it? And what does it act like? Does it act like a protein? Yes. So if it's not a chicken breast, how do you? So then who became my alter ego, my logo? This guy.
He's cute.
And he makes everything and it's full of fiber. So I called it a hoofle.
Mm-hmm.
So the Dauphin, it just came to me, half muffin, half donut. The Snooki, it's got sneaky ingredients. So it all, I think meditation has been huge for me because getting in that stillness, and that's a huge part of my guidance with people is the premise of doing nothing. Because when you do nothing, you leave nothing undone. When I spoke here on February 4th, I came here with the answer to everything. And at the end of my talk, I gave them the answer to everything, which is nothing. Because it's a blank canvas to be, do, create. Like your past is just experience. When you have a paradigm shift, when you shift from using those emotions to just looking at all the experience you've gained from everything that you've grown through, now you've never gone through anything.
Wow.
And it's that shift that has to happen. Food is such a huge thing with people that if you don't have a set point and accept where you are and are good with that, why even set a goal? Because all you do is struggle and fight to get to the goal. You learn nothing about yourself in the process. And then you reach the goal, you go back to bad habit.
Yep.
So that shift on every level, it starts with that awareness. And the stupid good world, even though marketers were poo-pooing it all the way to the bank, I was lucky enough to get on a call with a man named Laird Koldike, who was one of the managing partners of Winona Capital, who funded Chipotle and Wild Oats. And the man who connected me said, send him a box of food, let him taste it, let him see the logo, blah, blah, blah. And so I got on the phone and he's like, 20 minutes, you have 20 minutes. And he goes, wait a minute, before you say anything, I want to let you know, we got the box, we tried the food, it's amazing. He goes, but your name and your logo will keep bringing people back. And so I was done with that inner fight. I was done listening to other people and trusting the marketing minds and all that. And I went to buy the website. Well, it was taken. And so a friend of mine said, why don't you do www.eatstupidgood? So we ended up buying that. She lost the password.
Oh no.
And well, it was a blessing. She said to me, go see who owns Stupid Good Food and see if you can buy it. Well, in all my clarity and then all my confusion, I had forgotten that I bought it.
Oh, wow.
And that was the last thing I needed to know, that I have to call this Stupid Good Food. And that a woman I've worked with for years is like, this whole entity is just a stupid good world. And so that's how it literally everything was born in the succession of timing the way it was supposed to be. And it was up to me to just do nothing, listen in the stillness, and I left nothing undone. I had already bought the website.
Yeah.
Not even remembering I bought it.
I forgot because it was probably in that whirlwind of craziness.
Yeah.
And then you got to come back to reality.
And people said to me, well, if he thought it was so great, why didn't he fund it? I said, because that wasn't his purpose. The only purpose was for that dot to connect, for me to know it came from a great mind who's supported other natural things. And he said, keep me in the loop.
Yeah.
You get in front of the right person, they'll fund it
Yeah.
all day long.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have no idea what this is. How did all the elements of ASGWI come to fruition? And what is it?
Stupid Good World
A Stupid Good World International.
And I'm going to go back to those countries I played college ball in and reconnect with those people. And my mission now is to take all the elements from the mental shift to the nutritional to the movement to the master and get in an electric bus and go city to city, starting in Milwaukee. I believe that's why life brought me here, to create an incubator. And the incubator will be funded by whoever, and it'll have pods. And each pod there's a music pod, there's a safe kitchen pod, there's an art pod, there's a sublimation pod, there's a metal sculpting pod. And you can go in and learn about your passion and your purpose. And the person who applies to run and is granted a year of running each pod will get a grant writer. So at the end of that year, they can go forward with their business and someone else takes over the pod.
Nice.
So my biggest pitfalls were I do everything backward. I'm really dyslexic and on more than one level, more than words. My mind's eye sees everything backward. So it makes sense that A Stupid Good World was done backward, that I'm trying to work with adults, not kids.
Why not?
But to have an incubator where one night you've got trademark attorney, a business attorney, people that will guide people in the right direction so they don't have to go through everything I went through. The first question on what you sent me was really hard for me. It's about something you regret that turned out to be a blessing.
Oh yeah.
And I really had to sit in stillness with that. And I took on a business partner. Long story short, there was no business plan done. He just put money in as we went. He lived in Chicago. I lived in Miami. It failed miserably after $100,000 in because there's no plan. No. And then he said, well, I invested in you. And I'm like, well, great. You weren't here to fulfill any of your contractual obligations. So I had to give him an ultimatum, and I ended up aborting mission and going a different route, which was a whole nother train wreck. But it all came full circle, and my third food line became Stupid Good Food. And I believe this is going to take hold. And
This is, I mean,
Yes.
and this will be in Whole Foods. This will be an Outpost.
It
This
won't,
you
ever.
won't, never.
because I've gone that route, and
And
I
you say
wanted
no.
exclusive to my website so people see the whole system and learn about themselves from my experience through their experience through the whole system.
I love how you answered that.
I just can't, it's real estate.
Yeah.
And it goes back to the labeling. I mean, I went into a healthy supermarket in Knoxville, in Earth Fair, and I did Waffle Wednesday. I went in and I cooked waffles and I made creations and I let people sample. And it was a waffle and pancake mix.
Uh-huh.
And it went off without a hitch, but it took months of sitting there feeding people
For free,
This-
pretty much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was worth it. But I look at it now and I'm like, there is no competition for this on the market. That's not
No.
an egotistical statement. That's just what it's come to. Only I'm blessed with the blueprints for this.
That's right.
So I want to license the recipes
Yes.
as I go city to city into, say, a juice bar that doesn't have a lot of gluten, soy, dairy, everything I'm free from. And then they buy in, they have skin in the game. They're not giving the recipe away. I don't have to go to a co-packer. I don't have to
Right.
fight for shelf space.
Exactly.
And then you're just not like every other product that's out there. You're
Right.
more
Yeah.
exclusive. Yeah. So can you tell us what's all in
Yeah.
these?
So this is Ozip, which is pizza backward. Pizza spelled backward. The antithesis of pizza.
Pizza and tacos are life. I'm just saying.
So this is a savory hoofle base with some hummus, some spicy pepper spread of vegan cheese. They crisp up amazing in the air fryer, or they're good just as they are on the plate. Then that's the hoofle waffle Sammy I've done is the dark chocolate brownie. And then I use the golden butter, which is turmeric, cinnamon, ginger, black pepper. Somehow tastes like a Teddy Graham.
It does.
And dark cherries, which are high in antioxidants, one of the better
Yum.
fruits. The chocolate Dauphin has no sugar at all in the base. The only sugar you're going to find in that is a little bit in the butter, which I've renamed the dark chocolate hazelnut to Nutella.
Nutella, yes.
And then the raspberry is one of the fruits that are higher in fiber than sugar. So it's a good choice, and it gives it a sugary pop without all the sugar. And then these are total guinea pigs. This is the vanilla Dauphin. And I added a vegan marshmallow and dairy-free chocolate chips and added more fiber. So it's a super chewy. I can't wait for you to bite into
I
this.
love the chewy.
So this plate and that Sammy alone, 40 grams of protein, 2/3 your daily intake of fiber.
That's great.
These are more high fiber with a good amount of protein, but when you bite into that, you feel the energy from it, and it'll power you through the day with a good balance. Marshmallow root is something I use. I soak it in water and get a kind of a mucilage. It's great for gut healing. That's one of the binders in that because it's vegan.
Oh my gosh.
So
And your knowledge about food blows me away.
Yeah.
I mean, your knowledge about what is good for this, that, and the other.
thank you.
No one's taken that away from you. No one. That's all in here.
Yes.
That's all yours.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being on the show today. I'm so glad you
Thanks for
came
having me
in.
back.
I just can't wait to eat the food. Do you have any specials or offers for the audience?
I'm just now getting people to subscribe to the website and trying to boost my followers so then I can do once spring truly hits here. I want to do pop-up shops.
Okay.
The event I did last weekend was amazing for connections, and I want to partner. Anyone who becomes even a free affiliate gets a number, and anyone who buys under their number, they get paid back cash for anyone who orders under their number. So I want to create a bunch of stupid good foodies out there that really do believe in and eat the product for them to get paid back on.
I'm an affiliate, so you guys come order through me.
Yeah. Yeah. Just find out what our number is and you got it.
Well, we do have a page for you on the show called theconnectshow.com/stupid good with 2 O's.
Awesome.
So if you guys want to hear more about her, go to the website. Thanks so
I
much.
love it. Thank you for joining us today
Thanks for having me again.
I love it.
Yay.
I love it. What a great day we had
know.
today. 2 basketball stars, but 2 total passions for others.
Yeah, and a lot for kids.
A
You guys
lot
are
for
really
kids.
supporting of kids. Yeah.
Or bringing you back to kids.
Mhm,
If you're an adult too, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
And making it about the kids. It's
Mhm,
not about you, it's
mhm.
about your kids.
Yep.
I love it. I love it. What a great day today. And yeah.
And
with
we want
that-
to thank all of our volunteers so much for helping out. We have people behind the scenes doing social newsletters, emailing guests, all sorts of things. So join us next week for our show with Ryan Cohn and Brandon Frisch. That should be an exciting show. That's a little bit about automation in there.
Oh, we
And-
love automation.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us on the show today. Help our community grow by reaching out, inviting one person that you think you would benefit from watching the show today. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all those good things. The little act goes a long way to reach our audience further. We will see you next week.
See you guys later. I'm eating now. Bye.